All right. Something weird happened to me. I was debating whether telling you this or not because it's kind of silly, but if you're on the fence about me and you want to know if I'm certifiably crazy or not, this will probably help you in your quest to solve those questions you have about me in your mind. Here's what happened. Laying in bed last night, laying on my right side. I'm laying on my right side, and I believe I'm not leaning one way or another. I don't think I'm leaning too far back. I don't believe I'm leaning too far forward. I'm laying on my right side, pretty much perpendicular. And I notice, or I believe that I notice, is that my right ball touching the mattress? Am I at that age where everything just flops over and lays on the mattress and takes a nap with me? So I'm a little horrified by it. I'm trying to figure out if I'm leaning too forward or back. I'm going, God dang, these balls, man, these are going to be a problem when you get older. So I decide I'm going to lay on my left side and see if the same thing happens. So I lay on my left side to make sure that I'm not too far forward or not too far back. And I'm laying there. This is going through my head at night. I should be sleeping. I'm laying there and I'm waiting for my left ball to hit the mattress. And it kind of feels like it's getting there. It kind of feels like it's going. I feel like any moment that Ryan Seacrest is going to be coming in there and doing the ball drop announcement for me. I'm laying there, and it feels like it's getting closer and closer and closer, but I can't tell, it's my ball. I can't tell exactly if I'm on this. So I take my finger, and I try to see how much room is between my left ball and the mattress. And I'm proud to say it wasn't there yet. It wasn't there yet. But I'm also not happy to tell you this is something I am going to obsess about until I find a new obsession at night. Nights are my enemy. Anyway, hi, this is T11. If you are on YouTube right now, which I am trying to build my YouTube audience, typically it's a very small portion of the podcast audience. Most people download the podcast. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's the way I usually do things personally. I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos, but I wanted that aspect of this, especially for when I have guests. I'm hoping to have a guest next week, my first guest. We're going to talk about some pretty important stuff. I'm going to make sure my guests aren't fuddy-duddies, that they're not there just to promote, hey, my 7 success tips or whatever, success tip of drinking. Yeah, I just want to have those people on video so you can see them and all that kind of stuff. So that's an aspect that I'm trying to do this. So if you're watching on YouTube, they always say, please like and subscribe. And I'm asking you to do it. So thank you. Please like and subscribe it and leave comments. If you're watching it on YouTube, please leave a comment because I will be asking questions on this show a lot. And I want your answers to things. Since I'm not taking phone calls all the time, I will want your answer on things. And I'll throw that out there so you could leave those comments on there, or you could actually leave a comment at terryjames.com. Just fill out the connection form and just type it in. It's an email that comes right to me. Or you could even leave a voicemail there as well. If you go to terryjames.com, there's a little microphone insignia in the bottom right-hand portion of the page. And you could click on that and leave a voicemail. And it's really cool. It sounds really good. So you'll be on the show and I'd love to answer your questions there. But thank you. On today's show, I got the Weekly Rave. It's my first Weekly Rave. I want to turn you people on to things that excite me. Could be a product, could be a recipe, could be a movie, could be a podcast, whatever. Things that I really get excited about. And I'm going to do my first one this week. And I will leave the link to whatever it is I'm excited about in the show notes explanation of the podcast. Okay. So thank you very much. So my fair weather fandom is underway right now. I told myself, made a promise to myself, much like I'm going to talk about here in a minute, making promises that you made to yourself as a kid. How far along have you come? But I made a promise to myself that I'm just going to be a fair weather fan now. How much money, how much time, how much effort, how much emotions, how much sadness and sorrow have I put in to cheering on my sports teams my entire life? I'm not going to be Mr. Bragger here. There's so many people that always know much more about sports than you do, but sports has been a very important part of my life, and I could speak about it intelligently if I choose to. I could have a nice take on something, a thoughtful take there where you go, okay, yeah, that type of thing. I could easily do a sports show, but I don't like sports podcasts or anything like that because they're all the same. They're all kind of a bro thing and they're calling each other names and they're doing this and that. And I don't even know what I like about sports anymore, but I do know what it's brought into my life. Sports has taught me about competition. Sports has taught me about teamwork. Sports is the reason I got to go to college. Sports means everything to me. It always has, but I've decided that I've been wasting too much time on the sports stuff. And here's where it all came to a head for me. I started to think about, even listen, I've said that I want to live to be 180, 240. I mean, that's the mindset that I want because I don't want to be thinking, oh boy, I'm at that age where weird things happen. Like your nuts hit the bed. I'm at that age where, you have to take care of your heart more and you do think, yes, you do have to do that. You need to be proactive. But I don't want to be thinking that my time is coming to an end. So if I set my time way in the far future, and I really truly believe it, I feel like I'm playing a mind fuck with myself and I'm, kind of like a cheat code. But in reality, I started to think about, well, the average age of a man, usually the lifespan is, I forget what it is. It's somewhere in the 70s. A woman is just a few years longer, So I started to think about my age and I looked at the calendar and I went, God, I only had, what is there, 52 weeks in a year or whatever. I could be wrong. I'm stupid. But anyway, so I started counting the weeks. How many, if I'm going to live to this age that all the studies tell me I'm going to live to, how many weeks do I have left? And I'm going to say, if I even do it on the outside thing, if I'm shooting higher, say I'm 84, for some reason, 84 is one of those ages that stuck into my head. I only have about 1,000 weeks left, which sounds like a lot, but it's not really a lot. How many more weeks left do you have to see your parents or your family members? How many more weeks left do you have to make that apology to somebody? How many weeks left do you have to get your degree? How many weeks left do you have to get in the best shape of your life? How many weeks left do you have to spend with your wife or your husband or anything like that? How many weeks do you really truly have? And when you look at it that way, man, it is a shocker. It is something that just blows me away. So that kind of shook me. That kind of shook me right there and made me go, you know what? You're spending too much time. So 2024 is the year of the fair weather fan for me. I'm pushing sports not completely out of the picture by any means. I'm going to watch a game when it's on or when I have time, but I'm not going to schedule my life around a game anymore. I'm not going to tell Sherry, no, I can't go on a hike with you because the Jaguars are on or the Seahawks are on or something like that. And there's a lot of things going on right now, excuse me, with my favorite teams that people are reaching out to me on social media about. They said, what do you think about the Dodgers getting Ohtani? I'm like, I'm not even excited about it. Arguably one of the greatest baseball players of our time is joining my favorite team. I'm not that excited about it because I know what's going to happen. Only one team wins it every year. You spend so much time hoping it's going to be yours, and it's not going to be, especially if you're a Dodger fan. Dodger fans, listen up right now. It's not going to happen as long as Dave Roberts is your manager. It's not going to happen. He will manage that team to 120 victories for a season and then blow it in the playoffs because he's got to put his thumbprint or his fingerprint or his style on what's going to happen. He's going to take charge of the outcome instead of these players that are paid billions of dollars to. That's what's going to happen. I know that's what's going to happen. So knowing that's what's going to happen, why am I going to be worried about it? I'm not. So yes, I'm very excited about my decision to kind of open up my life for some different experiences by just kind of pushing sports to the side a little bit. So join me. I've had some people that say, hey, I'm going to do the same thing. Listen, if my team makes it to the World Series, I'll be the first guy in line to buy a shirt, buy a ticket, and go cheer them on. But I'm not wasting my entire year on these guys anymore. Okay, there you go. I think I clarified that. By the way, I'm wearing a Wombat shirt today. Hello, Wombats. Good to see you guys. And brand new merch on the way. If you're watching on YouTube, look at that. A T11 hat. It's this one's one of the, what is that? One of those flex fit hats. I like those. That's really cool. The logo's great. It's all sewn in. Got a different color one here. This is more of a trucker version. I ordered a bunch of these, not a bunch. I ordered these too, just to see what the quality is. And I've got to say, these are really, really nice. So I'm hoping to put those up on terryjames.com. All you got to do is click on the merch. Right now, I've got some Wombat stuff. I also have a brand new T11 black hoodie. There's only 25 available, and I posted it online a couple days ago. There's probably only about 18 or 19 available now. So thank you to those of you that purchased them. I know Frank was one of the guys that purchased them. Thank you. Frank is a hero of mine, man. He's one of those, he's like a fireman. He's out there doing stuff. So I appreciate you doing that, man. Thank you so much. So there you go. All right. I said earlier that I was going to talk about promises that I made to myself as a kid. Promises are a little different to me than a goal or a dream or a wish. A promise is something I hold dearly. When I promise somebody something, whether it's I'm promising you guys right now, I'm going to do this fair weather fan thing. I want to be a man of my word. My word is very important to me. Have I broken it before? Have I let people down? Absolutely. And it crushes me more than it crushes them. But I'm on a long run right now. As I mature, I feel like my word becomes stronger. My bond becomes stronger. I'm really excited about these promises that I'm making to myself. I also make promises to others, but the promises I make to myself, most people can dismiss those easily. Whatever. I just told myself. Nobody else heard it. Well, with me, it's a little different. I did have a lot of money growing up, and I made a promise to myself one day I would have a sports car. And, I was kind of living in a car at the time. And man, I love those Porsches, those Carreras, those 911s. I like them because, believe it or not, I know you're going to roll your eyes at this, but they are understated to me. They're not like those Ferraris with the whale tails and all that stuff. These are just it could kind of go under the, kind of stealth with one of those. So I made a promise I was going to get one of those when I was at my lowest. And luckily, I have fulfilled those promises. I have had 3 of those cars. I don't have one now, but who's to say I'm not going to get another one? That passion is gone. I made that promise. I fulfilled that promise. I told myself I was going to make a certain amount of money a year. That's still one that's in operation right now, but I feel like I'm doing the best that I can right now. I'm living up to my promise. I have a full-time job. People think that these podcasts are hobbies. These are not hobbies to me. This is my life. This is what I do. This is not a hobby to me. And I love it. So there you go. I told myself I was going to be a good husband. Yeah, I've had moments where I don't think I've been the best. But if you ask Sherry, she'll tell you that I've been a very good husband. But I I want to be better, but I'm working towards it. It is something that's active. I told myself when I was younger I was going to do something I love. We've already discussed that. I've been doing that. I love being around. I promised that I was going to find some friends that inspire me. I don't need a bunch of friends to go out and party and do things. I need friends to push me along. I need friends that I could kind of put up on a pedestal and go, how do you do it? But I also need friends that do the same for me, where we add to each other's lives. And I have that in my life right now. I've got that energy. It's great. I only have one promise left that I want to fulfill. And it's something I'm working on right now. And I'm working on it right now in a very proactive, very big way. And I hope that I am able to continue on because it goes on with a bunch of stuff. I promised myself that I was going to be one of these older dudes that just has it going on, has a certain style, has a certain glow about him, smiles, seems to have figured a lot of that shit out. Um, I used to go down to Laguna Beach a lot in California, and this is where it really hit me as a young kid. Even as a young kid, I would see these guys that to me, they were in their 80s. They were probably 40, but to me, they were in their 80s and they looked fantastic. They had the gray hair, but they had it going on. They were fit. They had a tan. They were active. They were out there playing volleyball. They were drinking coffee with their buddies. They had a little group of friends. And I remember seeing that from afar going, that is life to me. That is what I want. So that right now is what I'm working towards. It's a big goal of mine this year. I could be a cool 80-year-old. I could be that. I'll give it a try. Why not? Why not? All right. Anyway, so these promises are very important. Okay. So that's a very big thing to try to, if you're promising yourself, like I said, it's very easy to get out of that. But if you're promising other people, do your best to stay with everything that you've promised. Okay. All right. If you're watching this on YouTube, like I've said before, thank you so much. Like and subscribe. And if you're listening on the podcast, review it and share it. 2 shows a week right now. My ultimate goal is to do 3 live shows a week. I will be doing live shows very soon. I'm hoping to have, like I said, a guest next week. I'm very soon. I just have to figure out and be comfortable with this equipment that I have. How do I take the phone calls? How do I look for your phone calls while I'm still talking? I do not have a producer. So I'm working my way towards this to where I feel comfortable, where I know all the buttons are, and then I'm just going to move forward. This is such an exciting time for me with this podcast. And thank you for being here on the ground floor, because I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Could be nothing, but I got a feeling, and my gut right now has been dead on. I am in a position in my life right now where I feel once again like I'm getting my power back. And part of the reason I'm getting my power back is because I'm talking to you guys about this stuff. We're having these conversations. You guys are commenting on things, and I'm having really a fun time on social media talking to you about it. In fact, if you see something, if you're watching the show on YouTube, or if you're listening on a podcast, take the time to go to my Facebook page, or take the time to go to my website, which is terryjames.com. There's a microphone in the right-hand portion of the page. You click on it and you can leave a voice message, or you could just leave a written message. And I would love to see what you're thinking. I would love to know what your thoughts are about things that I'm thinking about. It's a way to keep this communication going. Okay. But I think on Monday, I rubbed somebody a wrong way already. I already showed, one in this thing. I believe that I pissed some people off by saying that I want more. I believe that I deserve more out of life. Why would you believe any less? Why are a couple people mad at me for that? I think we all deserve better. I think we all deserve more. It's okay to want more. Want to me is desire, and desire fuels passion, desire is everything. You just desire and then an action after a desire, you're going to get it. You're going to get whatever it is you want. Some people believe that things will happen to them in a very short period of time. What really, I'm going to get all metaphysical on you here, but your thoughts are extremely powerful. I've seen people succeed out of the box because they don't have any fear. They didn't think that, well, I'm going to follow the rules. I need to go step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 before I even get to 10. And when I get to 10, when I get to that 25th step, that's what it's really going to be. And that's going to take maybe 4 or 5 years, maybe 1,000 shows, maybe this and that. And you know what? That is your belief. That's the way it's going to go down for you. I've seen people believe that it's going to happen right away. I'm going to move to LA and I'm going to be a star. I'm going to open up my business and it's going to be huge. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And you take action right then, acting and feeling like it's huge. Guess what? It happens quicker. It happens quicker for you. Your thoughts are really powerful to everything in your life, obviously. Duh, Terry, what am I? Way to go, Anthony. Terry Robbins. But yeah, it really is. Desire is fine. Wants are fine. They stop you from having bad habits. They stop you from drinking too much. They stop you from, I had a desire to meet the woman of my dreams. So far, I'm there. You never know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen, but desire and wanting, there's nothing wrong with that. It is not selfish. I had a couple people reach out and go, you're just selfish. You want all this stuff. You're a typical Hollywood elite. I'm not a Hollywood elite. I'm just as regular as you. I am just a person who wants to be around success and wants to be around happy people and wants a happy life. I don't want to harm anybody. I don't want to get in fights with people. I just want to be around people with similar interests. Just like the guy who likes going to the drag strip at night. Just like the chick who likes going to brunch with her friends. Just like I am just that. I am exactly like you. There is nothing greedy about believing that you deserve more. All right. So there you go. All right. So I said that I was going to do a new segment today, and it's about a weekly rave is what it's called. Every week I'm going to bring to you something, and it's always going to be the last show of the day. And as we're getting ready to go into the weekend, the last show of the week, the weekly rave today, and I'll leave a link to this in the explanation of today's shows. But I have stumbled across a couple of girls that I find to be, for me, super inspiring. And I'm not so sure if you're not into ad-libbing and all that stuff, or, improv, I'm not so sure how much you're going to like them. But if you like really funny women and you like chicks who just cuss a little bit and just have a certain amount of edge to them and all that, I have found this podcast. Sometimes it's a little too much, like, oh, it's a little girly. I think their audience is mainly women, but it's a podcast called Idiot. And Idiot is hosted by Laura Cleary, I think is her name. Beautiful blonde woman. She's very funny, very talented. And my favorite episodes she does are with her friend named Manon Matthews or something. And it's so funny. It's so good. So I would hope that you guys would check that out and take a link of that and see exactly what I'm talking about. Let me know what you think in the comments of the YouTube show or whatever. My thoughts are all over because there's so many things I'm dealing with on this thing. Anyway, go check that out. The podcast is called Idiot. And especially look for the ones when she has her friend Manon Matthews on. Both beautiful, both funny, both hilarious. And it's good. The link is in the show notes. All right, guys. Well, there you go. Well, that's not what I wanted to play. This is what I wanted to play. All right. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Seriously, do something you love, be safe, don't drink and drive, all that kind of stuff. Please share this show. It would mean the world to me. As this show starts to become something I've always dreamed it would be. I've always imagined. I made a promise to myself that I was going to learn how to do all of the equipment. I made a promise to myself that I was going to give it my best shot, not to be successful. This is not, I'm not going into this thinking, oh, I'm going to be the next big money maker or anything like that. I just promised myself that I'm going to do something that I would like to listen to. Something that's a little topical, something that's got some sports in it, something that's a little humorous, something that'll tug on your heartstrings a little, and something above all that's going to make you move forward in life. And I'm hoping that, actually, I promise you that if you stick with me, that's what this show will be for you.